This is what the Home Minister also claimed yesterday in Parliament. He gave the examples of all 5 southern states. Karnataka currently has 28 seats. It goes up to 42 as weightage of the total Lok Sabha. Currently, it's 5.15. It goes to 5.14. Tamil Nadu, which is the state where I've seen the most opposition to this, 39 seats currently. Their weightage is 7.18. It goes up to 59 seats at weightage of 7.23. So this argument that the southern states lose out is not holding up.
No, again, they are now being very economical with the truth. They are now looking at, okay, these are the states that would see a representation increase or percentage increase. But what about the northeastern states? What about the state of Maharashtra? So that is something, so give us a map, what he's read out selectively given to the media yesterday, and it was floating around everywhere. Show all the states, how will it impact every single state? I think what you can do is that you say that whatever percentage of you had in terms of the weightage that you had, in terms of percentage value, we will continue with that.
No, but when they do delimitation, that will reduce. As you said, it will reduce for the southern states, it may reduce for Maharashtra because these states have done well on population. So to circumvent that, the Home Minister's proposal, the government's proposal is, let's increase the size of the pie.
Let me be very clear. You don't need to circumvent anything to bring in women's reservation. Be very clear about it. Women were promised that they would have 33% representation in the parliament, a long-holding commitment that we have made to the women. Instead of implementing in 24, we are implementing it in 29. That has to be done as is. Why are we going on continuously linking it? We can go and change the Nari Shakti Vandan Adhiniyam, bring an amendment and say we are delinking it from the census and delimitation. So, have the women out there in the parliament. These are excuses to not have women in the parliament.
So, for example, if they were to do the delimitation, the census and the delimitation, if a state like Maharashtra loses out, as you said, if it loses number of seats, isn't that detrimental also to the state? In the case of your state, it is detrimental if it loses seats.
Now, again, we're talking from deduction of seats. I'm talking about existing number of seats. If the intention is to bring women and, shatter those glass ceilings, do it now. Do it as is. Get us the 33%. I'm sorry if men lose out. I'm so sorry, sir. For last 7 decades, you all have been winning. You all have been championing. You all have been ensuring that women have been out of the system. Please lose out and please make way for the women.
So you said the women losing out is, the men losing out is not a concern. So 180 male MPs, many of them who are your former colleagues, stand to lose their seats if women's reservation is implemented on 543.
Too bad.
That's what you would say to them.
Too bad. You have been winning all along. You have been in the parliament. Make way for the women. That's all I'm saying. I have all empathy, sympathy, everything for men, and men for women, women for men is absolutely the way it should be. But the representation of women, 50% of the population, highest voter turnout is that of women. We are fulfilling all our responsibilities as committed citizens of this country. Then why are you denying us that voice on the power tables that matter?
So you said this for male members of parliament. Let me ask about your party, right? You have 9 Lok Sabha MPs and 20 MLAs. All of whom are men. What would you say to them?
I agree with you, absolutely agree with you. We did field a lot of women candidates. Unfortunately, they lost. But that is the idea, right? Give them the opportunity to be able to contest. Winning and losing is secondary. So every woman candidate offered a seat does not necessarily convert into victories, right? So this is something that we will continue to experiment with. And yes, every regional party, every national party is facing this challenge. I can give you an example. 2023, we are all committed. We are putting out here the reservation, yes, women reservation, women reservation. We have the 2024 election. Neither of the national parties gave anywhere close to 33%. The total candidates that were given were around 12%. Now, regional parties gave around 15% in the Lok Sabha elections. Now, look at all the state elections that happened after that. Maximum 10 to 9% is what we see happening. So it's a
but that includes your party as well. It's not just
all the parties.
All the political
I am
parties.
Speaking above my party.
Sure.
Politics, right?
Sure.
I'm speaking above my politics because for me, gender equity stands above our politics and above our biases. And that is why I continue to say that please implement it as is and now.
So why can't there be a law passed in Parliament saying that every political party has to give 33% tickets to its candidates, to women?
That's a brilliant idea, and that is something that was proposed by my party founder, Shri Balasaheb Thackeray ji, where he said, give all the registered political parties this mandate that they have to compulsorily give 33% reservation for women, and they will decide which constituencies they run or they contest from. Why are you reducing women fighting women? When you do a 33% reservation, you're making it an all-women constituency. All the candidates that would be representing their political parties would be women. So women are fighting women, but women can't fight men. That's a
no, which is where most political parties, including the national parties, have come up with this argument about winnability, that women compared to men don't win.
33%, if it was done, how my leader was saying, that you gave a 33% mandate to the political parties, let them decide where they contest from, how they contest, in what format they contest, and if they don't follow that 33%, then deregister the party. I'm totally in favor of this. Do it. Many people are making it about quota within quota. I have another thing to say here. You do 100% reservation in your party constitution for the quota that you're believing in. If you think women in minority, SC, ST, OBC will not be represented, there should be a constitutional amendment which gives them that guarantee. Guarantee it in your party constitution. Give them 100% reservation.
No, for example, yesterday Akhilesh Yadav was speaking in Parliament and he said this 33% reservation for women should have OBC, quota for OBC women as well as for Muslim women, even though the constitution does not allow it.
First, a woman needs to enter that door. A woman needs to enter the door. The caste and the nationality, the caste and the religion become secondary. First is make that space for the women. And again, I tell you, a political party, if it's concerned about OBC representation, SC, ST, and I totally understand that, I value where that's coming from. Implement it in your party constitution, that the 250 seats, if there's an addition, or within the 545 seats, the 180 seats that we're talking about, in the 180 seats that are going to the women, as my political party, I will give it to only SC, ST and minority women. Do it. Who's stopping you?